Look, it's a flood.
It's a flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Go ahead. Say it. Say that bullshit. No, say that bullshit you just said. Again, but say it with the mic on. No.
Alright, yes, no, some of these young NBA stars be violent.
Okay. First and foremost,
But now
I'm gonna
it's
need
your
you to
social media.
no.
All right,
I'm gonna
fine,
need
go
you.
ahead,
No,
cook.
no.
I'll get disqualified.
No,
All right,
nigga.
fine.
Stand on business. That's what I want from you. Is to stand on business. Why would you say such an egregious thing? What did Ja Morant do? The fucking pistol fingers again? Everybody gets to shoot guns but Ja Morant.
It's just like the shit, like the Zion thing.
What Zion thing? What did Zion do?
You didn't hear about the Zion thing?
No, I don't know if our listeners have either because we've been on break, right? Like,
All right, so fair enough. Like maybe 2 months ago, Zion Williamson,
which was about when we went on break.
Yeah, Zion Williamson got this OnlyFans or like low-end porn star.
Damn. Do you mean like, okay, so like a D-list porn star, right?
Yeah.
So wait. Okay. Sidebar, right? Not to cut you off. Does OnlyFans model automatically qualify you as like below A tier when it comes to porn? Because I feel like now I feel like that used to be a dig, but like as we've seen, like, I mean, who was it? Bad Baby just pulled her earnings out. Like, these ladies is out here making big, like, you know, no sponsor bucks off of, like, I mean, depending on what. So, like, independent money, right? Off of the OnlyFans. It's like being independent, right? They're not signed to a label, right? So we don't like not qualify them when we talking about tier.
Here's how I can gauge the feedback. That what I'm saying is you know, Zion, you know,
the level of OnlyFans model that he got with is not one you would consider like high caliber.
Twitter wouldn't.
Twitter, my man was like, cause I am a good Catholic and I don't watch porn.
Because, as I said, a lot of these things have been popping up recently, and several of the
it has
reactions
nothing to do with his algorithm at all.
Yeah, it's NBA Twitter.
Yeah. Go ahead. Several of. Go ahead. Take some time to get.
There's a lot of tweets where you're like, you know what? I get it. In response to Zion, everybody was like, yo, why? And I knew it was bad when other OnlyFans models were tweeting and like, Zion, you should follow my Instagram instead. Like,
first of all, that's all Twitter is right now. That is literally under every single video, right? It could be like a fucking video of like an old dude pushing his loving wife around in a wheelchair, right? And like right under it, it'll be like, you should come see me get pushed around in a wheelchair while she's like twerking. Dog, Twitter is garbage right now, right? Which is perfectly fitting for these kind of like garbage altercations, right?
Alright, so the other thing is, I'm not saying like what they're doing is bad at all, but like Josh Giddey, clearly, well, he's doing something bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Doing something bad.
That's a whole different level. That's a whole different level.
He's doing something bad.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards got a model pregnant, and she was trying to juice him for money. So then he's like, all right, cool, here's the plan B. Send me the video of you taking it. And she's like making it like, oh my god, this baby would be so cute. All Anthony Edwards says, like 4 or 5 times, is send the video.
Listen, because if you really know your shit, you're supposed to take plan B beforehand, not afterwards. That's little for you, the little key knowledge
but
there.
Like the whole time he was just like, send a video.
So what I'm saying is that's extra crazy, because if he'd done his homework, you wouldn't have had to, you'd have just watched her take it, right? Second of all, Second of all, has Drake taught you niggas nothing? Where are the NDAs
Yeah,
at?
that's like my thing. I'm like that's my biggest takeaway here is like, why?
Where are the NDAs at? Like you guys are
all of this
professionals.
has been happening like forever.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it wouldn't happen. I'm not saying that people put in that position.
That's my point, right?
I'm saying, why are you so dumb to get caught?
Yo, like, because listen, the
Protect
stories
yourself.
that Rodman tells, can you believe how fucking many times Rodman would have broke the internet if we had like Twitter and shit back when the bull, like with 96? Come on, man. Like, you can listen to Mike and them tell stories now. What did he say? I'm not gonna say what he was in the bed
What was in the bed with him?
Right? Can you imagine if that pic had gone viral?
Like,
Bro,
Twitter was literally
Also-
exploded afterwards,
also-
and they were like, he didn't say who. He didn't say who.
am I the only one who's not surprised Dennis Rodman wasn't on the Epstein list? It's not a good... look, I'm not saying that Dennis Rodman looks like he's a pedophile, but Dennis Rodman does crazy shit. So I don't think I would be surprised if Dennis Rodman was on the Epstein list. That's all I'm saying, is I wouldn't have been surprised if Dennis Rodman was on the Epstein list. That's all.
I wouldn't, like, I could see Dennis, like, hearing about it, flying to the island, looking around and being like, oh, no, I don't want to be here.
Once again, yeah, like, I mean, Chris Tucker was on it. Like, I don't think Chris Tucker fucks little kids, right? But not once. Rodman wasn't on there once. There wasn't, like, any NBA stars. And what
Not
like,
even Josh Giddey!
who is white, because what I was gonna say is the rumors around, the melanated parts of the internet is that Epstein doesn't fuck with black people, and that's why there weren't a whole lot of black people on that list, which makes it extra weird that Chris Tucker got through. Just saying, it wasn't a whole lot of, like, Cosby wasn't on there, but I mean, Cosby doesn't also like kids, so...
Something that Josh Giddey said, I don't know if it was a meme or not, but then again, the NBA's, like, their Twitter sometimes have unintentionally fucked up.
The internet is wild, right? It's a wild place.
There was a quote where it was like, Josh Giddey on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I wish we were even younger. Guy's averaging 17.5 points a game.
You're just not gonna let the Josh... I mean, listen, I went in on Elvis last episode, right? And, like, every chance I get, I like to remind people that Elvis is actually a groomer, despite how much we want to label Michael Jackson that. That's not the point. It's not the point at all. The point here is that
Get an NDA!
Stop fucking kids. The NDA won't help if that's the case, Josh Giddey. The NDA won't help
all
you.
of the other NBA stars who are just wilding and not doing anything illegal,
right?
NDAs.
Please, guys, because the level of exposure is rising up and crashing through the timelines. Back again, stumbling through the intro is Doc
And Ziggy,
and we are your favorite weekly pop culture digest,
bringing you our pop perspective.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say the flood. See, look, I'm taking him down with me. To put the culture in context.
And make the mainstream make sense.
Because if we don't make sense, we don't make
dollars. Holla.
Which actually
we are the flood.
It's not true. Yeah, that part. That part is true. We do, however, make dollars thanks to our patrons,
Enraged Peacock and Tom Cruise.
That's right. You heard it.
Yep.
Not endorsed by Scientology, though.
No.
Despite how pushy Tom Cruise is, right? But we are still here. Still.
Oh, it's not that Tom Cruise. It's a different Tom Cruise.
I know.
But I'm just saying.
Oh, so the list. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're not endorsed by Scientology.
No, not at all. Despite what you may have heard.
However, we are also not sponsored by NPR.
Yet. That door is still open. However, that door...
We're still waiting on the email.
We are starting our second episode back.
Second episode back.
Second episode back, and if you haven't heard, go check out the first episode back, featuring the one and only Jamar Taylor. That's right, local Baltimore comedian. I got
be more comedy, Jamar Taylor.
That episode was fire. Go check that out after you finish listening to this episode. We got some crazy shit to talk about this week. They've already gotten started with election season. Donald is out there doing his best imitation of Sacha Baron Cohen's The Dictator.
Lil Nas X is doing his best impression of Jesus Christ.
Jelly Roll went and testified at Congress.
Donald Glover is doing his best impression of 21 Savage. And artificial intelligence is doing a piss poor impersonation of George Carlin.
Hey. But first and foremost, you know how we like to get things started around here, and that is by seeing what you guys have been streaming, listening to, and
this week's hit on the algorithm is,
as Zig mentioned earlier, Lil Nas X is back up out the grave site like J. Christ. That's it. J. Christ has got everybody's ears.
The song is a vibe.
Fucking buzzing, burning, you sinners. You sinners, if you are spinning that shit in the stream, it's like, nah, after all the hype, I finally sat down. I watched the video, right, to get my own reaction, my own perspective from it, because, you know, that's what we try to bring y'all.
I mean, the phrase gay Jesus in itself just kind of makes me chuckle. Like, gay shit, it's kind of funny.
Bro, and honestly, like, you know, he got Boozy upset, he got Kai Cenat upset, right? Like, everybody is fucking mad about this shit. He was, the video of him sitting in church dressed like Jesus, drinking all the fucking communion wine and eating all the crackers, like, just like a bad bitch, right? Like, it's Lil Nas X doing what Lil Nas X does best, and it's trolling.
He's trolling.
Its finest, because, honestly, as the man said, wasn't even anything really offensive in that entire video.
Nope.
Unless you are just offended by Jesus in like really low cut shorts and like a fucking like bad batch of like hair. Like, listen.
Like what? You're not allowed to portray Jesus now?
With a bad bundle and some, you know, fire press on. Listen.
I hate to break it to y'all, but Jesus was black.
I don't know about the gay part, but this nigga the statement was very clear.
Okay, he was at least not white.
The statement Lil Nas X made was very clear, right? He is
gay Jesus.
Jesus. And I guess the idea got people like really fired up, bro. But I honestly didn't see anything extremely offensive about this video, especially like on the heels of all kinds of other shit that is purposefully offensive. Right, like
he crossed up Satan and then walked around like Soul Calibur characters.
Dave Chappelle literally spent like what 5-10 minutes picking on handicapped people. Like that was more offensive than this Lil Nas X video. Let's be honest, right? Let's be honest, and that's not a dig at Dave. Dave was literally trying to be offensive. I mean, I guess Lil Nas X was too.
Not nearly as offensive with Montero.
Like what?
The Satan shoes and Montero? Come on now.
And the Satan shoes were featured in this video,
the Montero
by the way,
thing.
but they were also featured in the video for J. Christ. In that insane cross-up and dunk combination. Right?
Over Satan!
If anybody else had made a music video where they crossed up and broke Satan's ankles and then proceeded to dunk on that nigga, we would be hailing as like a
country singer from Indiana.
So Jelly Roll, right? Like Jelly Roll goes out there, makes a music video where he crosses up Satan and then dunks on him. They would listen. As much as they love Jelly Roll right now, that would like break the internet, right? In the same but different context. Listen. Trying to bring you all perspective, right? Put it in context for you. Was the video really that upset, or are y'all just programmed?
I'm just throwing this out there. Cat Williams is on top of the leaderboard for Time Magazine Person of the Year.
Who was Person of the Year last year?
Taylor Swift.
Was she?
Yeah.
I mean, well-deserved queen. Go on.
She got 4 different Time covers.
Well, I mean, she's made like 4 different versions of her album, so it's not a dig. It was a dig, just a little.
Also, Time's Person of the Year is a most impactful person. Like, keep in mind, Hitler won it twice.
Twice? You know Kanye is somewhere fuming right now. I wore a fucking Klan outfit. Bianca is walking around with her tits out, and nobody's talking about me. I mean, like, literally, have you, like, yeah, because we didn't talk about that last
White people
episode.
are not allowed to dress as ghosts for Halloween anymore.
Not pointy-headed ghosts.
Unless they cut a whole bunch of holes in the sheet, and they go as Charlie Brown's ghost.
I was going to say, pointy-headed ghost, absolutely out of the equation.
What about
right?
pointy-headed white wizards? Like looking like Gandalf or Dumbledore. But a white outfit.
I would like to point out that when Gandalf came back as like the white wizard, he did not have a hat. No hat. There's no hat there because
hey guys, Gandalf is a metaphor for Jesus.
I mean,
just so you know,
isn't like but that's perfectly fine because you know he was rugged and white, even though Gandalf could totally be like a bear, right? Like, no, it's perfectly fine to make him.
Gandalf is a frail old man.
Is he frail though?
He looks. I mean, no, Gandalf's a total badass.
I mean, can you be frail and then
frail.
Stand in front of what was the
Balrog?
Yeah. Could you be frail and stand in front of Balrog and go, you shout? You guys know the line, right? He's gonna do it.
Shall not pass.
Yeah. No, you can't be frail and do that, right?
No, you can still be frail and a courageous ass, brave fucking wizard.
No.
Let's break this down for a second.
No, speaking of brave, do you think it was brave of Kanye to try and repurpose the whole Klan? Because in all honesty, right, what Kanye was wearing it for was not to invoke Klan imagery. What he will claim and what lots of others have claimed was this was him more akin calling to where the Klan drew inspiration for their costumes from, aside from the night riding and spooking black people with ghost thing. It was the whole Catholic tradition over in like Spain, right? I forget.
The Inquisition?
No. So over in Spain, those robes are, I forget what they're called. Hold on. I am going to Google something wild real quick, and I hope it doesn't get me put on a list. Spanish. Hold on. The capriati is a Catholic pointed hat of conical form that is conical form. Conical is probably the white. What a Freudian to pronounce that. That is used in Spain and Hispanic countries. Confraternity and penitence. Yeah. And is a uniform for brotherhoods of the Nazarenos, and Fraser is worn during Easter. So, after all that butchering, TLDR, they are traditional uniforms worn by Spanish Catholics during Easter celebrations, right? Kanye was invoking like a resurrection imagery by wearing the robe, right? But he was also being a twat because, like, yeah, obviously, right? We would immediately hear in America because this is America. Cue Donald Glover.
This is America.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing, right? Just like they know what they're doing every time another fucking video of Bianca walking around in something that can barely be called clothing gets going viral on the internet. Vultures still hasn't come out yet, to my knowledge, as of our recording, which is, you know, on the 14th of January. Vultures is still not out yet. So this is nothing new for Kanye. Right? Like, Kanye is no stranger to drumming up controversy before albums. I mean, last time we got a whole beef with Drake, right?
The great mixtape war of 2020.
The album sale war between 50 Cent, right?
Well, that was 50 wasn't beating Graduation.
I mean, listen, we can argue about 50's impact on hip-hop versus Kanye's on hip-hop a little bit later.
It's Graduation.
I'm not saying that the album is better, but I'm saying, like, it wasn't wild for 50 to think that he could outsell Kanye at the time.
No.
Like, it's 50 fucking Cent we're talking about. Like, 50 Cent is the reason, like, I know Eminem is, like, all of white class suburbia's, like, favorite rapper, right? But, like, let's be real. It's not a far jump from Eminem to 50 Cent in that playlist.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
Right? Like,
Nope.
50, like, I really think, like, when we are far enough removed from it, because we're still, like, pretty well attached to the bling era, right?
Yeah.
But, like, 50, like, overshadowed even Jay-Z at the time, right? There's
Doom.
as far as, like, GOAT
that beat was
conversations,
unescapable.
as far as, like, GOAT conversations go up there, like, 50 may not be, like, the most lyrical, right? But, like, come on, like, if Drake was to go up against anybody other than Jay-Z or Lil Wayne for a versus battle, I think 50 would probably be a pretty good matchup.
50 Cent is one of the top 5 rappers I would want to go to a strip club with.
That's a wild statement. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a good time. It's just a wild statement. And I know that Drake currently has more Billboard hits than Michael Jackson, but I still think, me personally, and I think Mos Def too, because I don't know if you saw, but Mos Def just came out in an interview and took unnecessary shots at Drake because why not? And was like,
Mos Def.
He's a pop star, not a rap star, but
Yeah.
like, we already know how Drake feels about that, and it's just kind of like fucking like poking fun at Matt Damon at this point, right?
It's easy to do, but it's always fun.
Yeah. 50 was supposed to be making a expose on like Diddy and was going to give all the proceeds to like a charity of like domestic violence. And just like when we talk about trolls, like speaking of, you know, King Troll, right? Like Lil Nas X is up there, but
50.
absolutely
50.
big troll.
Before trolling was a ubiquitous term. Ask Ja Rule.
You know what's funny about that statement? And then I promise we'll get back to Kanye. That's exactly how I feel when it comes to Dave and this transgender discussion at this point. Like, has Dave, like, stopped and thought to himself, and I get it, I still haven't watched The Dreamer yet because you all won't stop talking about how overrated Dave is. And I really want I want to forget about it and then watch it again, like, just generically, right? That's not the word. Just genuinely, right? Like, accidentally stumble on it and go, yeah, oh yeah, let's watch this now, right? But currently, I am feeling like, hey, Dave, no one asked. Like, literally, and sure, and it sucks to have to say that because I still think Dave is funny. There are parts of the transgender discourse where Dave, I feel like, really gets the ball rolling, but why does this have to be the ball? Why is this the hill you, Honorable Sir David Chappelle,
It does not float.
is dying? No, like, it does. You're willingly tanking your brand, right? And your stake, as it's like he got that Mark Twain award and was like, haha, I'm tenured now. I can say whatever the fuck I want, and no, you can't. And as a matter of fact, you can, right? Like, Kanye can dress up, haha, I told you I was gonna bring it back. Kanye can dress up in a Klan robe all he wants. and say that it's actually a Capriati and he's not being controversial, he's actually invoking gospel imagery. And Dave can say he's not punching down, he's making jokes, all he wants, right? But the issue here is you know what you're saying, right? I recently sat down and watched FD Signifier's video on Kanye, right? And this is something that might be a little bit out of your realm of comfortability.
You don't say!
But it, like, as far as this goes, and I'm not gonna say that they are necessarily cooning, but it does give off big coon energy.
You want me to? All right, so hold on. Let me. Here's the spot I'm coming from. That word, I know in two scenarios. One, something I just shouldn't say, or two, Cartman's superhero alter ego.
So it's not that you can't say. So if you go watch the FD Signifier video about cooning, which I recommend you do. Not just you, because FD is really good at like white-splaining racism. Not white-splaining is not the right. But like explaining racism to white people, but cooning
without putting them on the defensive.
As he explains, is not necessarily a racist thing. It's more of like a self-policing thing. It's like an identifier that black people use to go, hey, you're stepping out of line as far as like the movement is concerned. I'm sure there's a white people version of that, but like that's not the point. And we're already like too far into this tangent. The point here is that also FD Signifier says, I don't think it's in the same video, it might be, but like if your whole position is to be offensive, then you can't get mad when people get offended. That is literally like to an extreme here. Lighting your hand on fire and then getting mad when you have third-degree burns. Alright, like, no.
Play stupid games?
I don't even think it's play stupid games, win stupid prizes, because like Dave is literally trying to piss people off, but then you turn around and then you get mad about how pissed off people get, right? Like Kanye went out there and said Hitler had some good ideas and then was like, why is everybody mad at me? What did I say wrong?
You're not Hannibal Buress, Kanye.
Like, I'm sorry, what? Nigga, if you are out here trying to push boundaries, right, because you want people to critically think and you want to be thought-provoking, then you can't get mad when people compare you to Gigi Allen, Kanye, because you are like a shit on stage away from being rap's Gigi Allen. Like, how far? What are we talking about here? Is this reality? Or is this just fantasy? I'm living in a dream. Like, this Kanye...
No escape from reality.
Kanye wearing a Klan robe after going on Alex Jones and
Going on Alex Jones and saying that he's just a poor boy and nobody loves him.
And advocating for, like, Nazi talking points, and then, like, is so far off from Kanye standing next to Mike Myers and being like, George Bush hates black people, that it would make anybody. It's gotta make Kanye dizzy. Like, he's clearly not on his fucking meds, bro.
Or at least, I mean... I feel like anytime we see Kanye tweet, that's a sign he's off his meds.
I feel like if you took Dave from the Chappelle Show era, right, and showed him the Dreamer.
So not Dave, it's Dave. So we're taking Dave.
And showed him the Dreamer, he would be like, oh, who the fuck hurt me? Like, I'm sorry. This will probably never even get this.
That's heavy.
This will never even get to Dave, right? Like, if it gets to Dave, good job, Patreon, right? But, like, for real, though, I just feel like it's so disappointing. The further and further we slip into this dumb dystopia that we're in, it's so disappointing. Kind of like our 2024 election prospects. But we'll get into that right after this break.
Right.
And
Look, it's a flood. It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Wait, why can't we talk about Black Sabbath?